John Travolta's journey to fame began in the unassuming streets of Englewood, New Jersey, where he was born on February 18, 1954. He was the youngest of 6 children in a family whose financial struggles were far from invisible. His father, Salvatore, worked tirelessly in a tire shop, while his mother, Helen, once a singer on radio, settled into the routine life of teaching. Despite the loving home, John grew up in an environment where money was scarce and every basic necessity felt like a small miracle. Yet, amidst these struggles, Helen nurtured a vision that would shape John's destiny. She encouraged him to pursue his talent and never let his circumstances define him. Her words became a mantra: "Talent is the great equalizer." This early advice became the cornerstone of John's relentless drive to pursue his dreams, no matter the odds. A leap of faith. At the age of 16, John faced a choice that would change his life forever. He could take the traditional route of finishing school and settling into a stable, predictable life, or he could chase the uncertain and elusive dream of becoming an actor. With his mother's encouragement, John chose the latter, dropping out of Dwight Morrow High School and heading to New York City. His parents, though unsure, supported him, knowing that their son had to pursue his passion or risk regret. With only a small amount of money to his name, John found himself in the chaotic streets of New York, where rejection became his constant companion. However, his tenacity never wavered. He worked countless odd jobs, auditioned endlessly, and never stopped moving forward, determined to prove that his mother's belief in him wasn't misplaced. Struggles and breakthrough. John's early years in New York were marked by constant rejection and difficult jobs. From distributing flyers in harsh winters to working in near-starvation conditions, he faced the grind that most dreamers know too well. Yet, in 1975, fate intervened when he landed a role in the touring company of Grease. It wasn't the starring role, but it was enough to get him noticed. His Broadway debut in Over Here was short-lived, but it was a stepping stone. Despite this, John refused to let rejection define him. Every failure was a reminder of what he could lose if he didn't keep pushing. His refusal to stop led to an extraordinary moment. In 1975, Welcome Back, Cotter aired, and John Travolta, playing the unforgettable Vinnie Barbarino, became an overnight sensation. At 21, he was thrust into the spotlight, and suddenly, his dreams felt like reality. Love and loss. Diana Hyland. Success, however, came at a heavy price. During the filming of The Boy in the Plastic Bubble in 1976, John met Diana Hyland, a 41-year-old actress who played his mother in the film. Despite the 18-year age difference, they fell deeply in love. Their relationship was intense and pure, and for John, it was the first time he truly believed he had found his soulmate. But fate had other plans. Diana, who had fought breast cancer years earlier, was diagnosed with terminal cancer while they were together. The love affair that seemed like it could last forever was tragically cut short when Diana passed away in John's arms on March 27, 1977, at the age of 41. John, only 23, was faced with the crushing grief of losing his first great love, and he carried that heartache through the massive success of Saturday Night Fever, a film that would change his life forever. A brief resurgence. In 1989, however, John was offered a lifeline in the form of Look Who's Talking, a quirky romantic comedy about a talking baby. The film grossed nearly $300 million, giving John a brief resurgence. Though the film was light-hearted, it served as a reminder that he still had an audience. In the early 1990s, John continued to make sequels and tried to re-establish himself in the industry, but his career had yet to fully recover. It wasn't until 1994 that the true rebirth of John Travolta happened. Quentin Tarantino, recognizing John's incredible potential, cast him in Pulp Fiction as Vincent Vega, a hitman with a dark side. It was a role that demanded his full range as an actor, and John's performance was a revelation. The film won the Palme d'Or at Cannes, and John earned his second Academy Award nomination. The Golden Years, A New Beginning. The success of Pulp Fiction catapulted John back into the limelight. For a decade, he was one of the highest-paid actors in Hollywood, starring in hits like Get Shorty, Face/Off, and Primary Colors. He proved that even in the entertainment industry, second chances could exist, and he was living proof that stars could rise again. However, while his career was experiencing a renaissance, his personal life remained turbulent. In 1991, John married actress Kelly Preston, and together they built a family with 3 children, Jett, Ella Blue, and Benjamin. But once again, tragedy struck. Tragedy strikes again, the loss of Jett. In 2009, John and Kelly faced the unimaginable when their 16-year-old son Jett tragically passed away after suffering a seizure while on vacation in the Bahamas. John performed CPR on his son, but Jett was gone. The loss was devastating, and it mirrored the earlier grief John had endured when he lost Diana. His life, which had been filled with so much joy and promise, seemed to be a cruel series of emotional blows. Yet, even in the wake of such sorrow, John pressed on, leaning on his family and the love they shared. His strength, though tested, never faltered. A new chapter. In 2020, another blow came when Kelly Preston, John's beloved wife, lost her battle with breast cancer at the age of 57. The pain was unbearable for John, and he faced the heartbreaking reality that cancer had now taken both Diana and Kelly from him. The grief was deep, but John, ever the survivor, continued to focus on his family. He had lost so much, yet his resilience and his love for his children kept him going. In a poignant moment of vulnerability, John shared with his son Benjamin that life was fragile and unpredictable. It was a conversation no parent ever wants to have, but it was a necessary one. A reminder that despite the pain, life must go on. Legacy and reflection. Now, at 70, John Travolta resides in his Ocala, Florida estate, where he enjoys the quiet life, surrounded by his family and a legacy built on perseverance. His career may have slowed, but his legacy as an actor, dancer, and cultural icon remains intact. He has earned his place in history not just for his roles, but for his ability to endure. From the young man who overcame poverty to the star who conquered Hollywood and the father who learned to live with loss, John Travolta's life is a testament to the power of survival. Despite the industry's shifting tides and personal heartbreaks, John's story proves that love, endurance, and resilience are the true measures of success.